I didn't like your last one, but that one's good.
All right, hey, welcome back, folks. We are doing the top 5 warrior poet movies of all time. We have our expert panelists here, which are so funny. I was literally crying with laughter when we were trying to get going. Hopefully we'll nail it on this take. Basically, we polled you guys on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook and asked you what is the greatest warrior poet movies of all time. We thought this would be an awesome topic since you're quarantined and everyone's just binge watching TV shows and movies, so this will give you some really good stuff to check out. If you want to check out any of these movies and you haven't seen them, how dare you? You got to see the cool warrior poet movies. Make sure you check down below in the video description and we'll hook you up with that stuff. Before we jump in, let me introduce our panelists, then we'll tell you the worst movies, then we'll go into our top 5, and then I'll give some honorable mentions. So without further ado, you are DJ Lil Poet.
Yeah, it's Lil Poet, and you already know it. Coming at you from the 404 ATL ITP. Rewind.
Awesome. You are Alvis.
What?
Help me.
Alvis Ribbits. My friends call me AR.
Alvis Ribbits. We'll call him.
My grandpappy told me, he said, I'm gonna call you AR. And I said, all right.
Well, all right. And you are just Alejandro.
No. Alejandro.
Man,
Alejandro. I said.
Scoot away from Alejandro over here.
It's Alejandro.
I said that, Alejandro.
Describe me.
No, you said Alejandro. It's Alejandro.
Alejandro.
I don't like the way you say that.
That's it.
Awesome. So the way this will work is I will call out movies and they will rate them on their whiteboards. Gentlemen, let's have a test run. How much do you like the video we're making so far on a scale of 1 to 10? And 1, 2, 3, hold them up. Again, no one followed instructions. We have a heart.
That's a 0. I'm enjoying the 0%.
The 0 and an 81. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, this is gonna suck.
I don't like that.
All right, so first, before we jump into the top 5, we're gonna go over the worst suggestions that we received on any of our social media platforms. We had Legally Blonde, Twilight. We immediately banned this person from all of our accounts. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, 50 Shades of Grey, Pineapple Express, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Sleepless in Seattle.
How come Twilight is not good?
Can we make do with just 2 people on our panel? Just 2 people? Let's get rid of Alejandro.
That's racist.
All right, so we're going to read off the number 5 one, and this was a real close running. There was a few, which we'll talk about in the honorable mentions. This was selected because, again, it appealed to our different ethos elements of freedom, higher purpose, sacrifice, violence, love, romance. All that stuff needs to be present for a movie, so it can't just be your favorite movie. It needs to match this. That's why Nacho Libre did not make the top 5, but all people, by objective indices, would realize that it is one of the greatest movies of all time. Number 5 was The Patriot. Guys, rank it. Scale of 1 to 10. The Patriot. Did our audience out there get it right? All right, so we'll start with Alejandro. And he... 1776.
I'm
So-
just trying to appeal with you guys.
With you guys.
Not like that.
So racist. Let's go to AR.
All right, I got the answer for you. Bam, nailed it. Tiger King, 100 out of 100. I binge watched the whole thing.
Wait.
Thank you. You're welcome.
What is it?
Austin with the Tigers.
Did you misspell King?
What?
Could there be easier words to misspell than King?
The Tiger King is
Tiger
my
Kai.
favorite new docu-series on the old Netflix. Have you tried that? Have you tried downloading the Netflix on
DJ Little Poet, what'd you
on
come
your
up
iPad?
with? Is that
So, I got a tomahawk here, and playing some of my music here on the boombox.
I don't like that, but I like that.
You
Tomahawk.
gotta, it's my kind of music, so you can imagine the Patriot over here and a little drop the bass. You best believe it is.
Anyway, I like the Patriot a lot. You have some fathering elements. You have, of course, the revolutionary spirit that embodied our country's founding. which was awesome. You saw sacrifice. You saw elements of living for higher purpose. I really like a lot of the strategy and the tactics that was captured in the spirit of Francis Marion. And I really like the historical elements too. So I think The Patriot absolutely should be in the top 5. And glad it's there. All right, number 4. Guys, go ahead and get ready to score this next one. Number 4 was 13 Hours. 13 Hours was a fantastic movie. It was a historical movie. Some of these guys that were there are walking around. I've met a few of them. Really, really cool dudes, but they selflessly defended a U.S. embassy that was about to be overthrown and all the government workers in there assassinated. It was in Benghazi, Libya. Incredible story, amazing action scenes. You saw all the elements of the warrior poets that were there, and I think it should be ranked in the top 5. What did you guys think? And first, we're going to go to DJ Little Poet. And
Little Poet here. We got the hours up here in the corner just to make sure there's 13 of them. This is the Impala, 20-inch blades.
Great.
When I watch the
No.
film.
No. So it's no problem. What you'll want to do is on these boards, you could write like a 9. And that would be an answer. Or you could put like a 10. You could have written a 7. But if you find yourself drawing a picture of a car or a clock, you miss the instructions. So numbers
20-inch
1.
blades.
Nope, 20 is not in between 1 and 10. I don't know how to make the instructions more clear. AR, what did you come up with?
Well, I was checking your math, and you were wrong. It was 24 hours in a day. So 13 hours doesn't make sense. I give that a negative score on your thinking this show. I don't like that.
That is so smart. Thank you. Alejandro.
Put 3. 3.
3 out of 10. So you did not like the movie?
13 hours is too long for a movie. It's
No, the movie wasn't 13 hours. So you shouldn't be voting on movies you haven't seen.
Man, follow the instructions, man.
You didn't follow the instructions either.
Neither one of y'all got music.
Music has nothing to do with any of this.
Music's everything.
All right, so we'll move on to number 3 now. This one's particularly sentimental because it serves my old alma mater, 2nd Ranger Battalion, and some of the dudes, just like in Benghazi with 13 Hours, some of the dudes I've actually met. This is some dudes that have grown to be friends. So they were there. The 3rd pick was Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down is especially sentimental to me because I knew some of the dudes that were there. And it was basically the historical retelling of the events that happened in Mogadishu, Somalia in 1993. Army Rangers and Delta Force dudes fought themselves out of a horrible, horrible situation. Some of them would pay the ultimate sacrifice and not return home when they were surrounded by enemies trying to kill them. So guys, with a little bit of respect, and again, please follow the instructions, you should be writing the numbers 1 through 10.
You should be writing the numbers 1 through 10.
I will write the number as well. Now you guys, ready and go. I will go first. It was a 10. I absolutely agree. This should be in the top 5. You guys picked a very good one. We will skip DJ Little Poet, who is clearly drawing again. What are you drawing, just out of curiosity?
Oh, I drawn a giraffe. He's got some headphones on. He's listening to my music.
I didn't like your last one, but that one's good.
That's just something that you would see if you were hanging out with me.
I was way off.
I'm so sorry. AR, what'd you come up with?
What is 13 hours?
13 Hours was the last movie.
I did the math. It came out. It checks out on this movie.
It's not Jeopardy. What you don't ask the question. It's
then,
just you said the numbers 1 through 10.
Well, if we're not in Jeopardy, then why are we even doing this?
This is infuriating. Alejandro.
I really like the emotion you put into the description. I'm gonna give it a 10.
10. Did you see the movie? And you put a little heart over the 1. That's adorable. Did you see the movie?
Does it count if I saw it in Spanish?
Yes.
Well, no, I didn't see it.
All right, guys, so number 2, I'm a little bit miffed about because I think it is absolutely the greatest warrior poet movie of all time. You guys obviously said differently as you were voting, but number 2 is Braveheart. If you don't know the story of Braveheart, immediately make sure you watch the movie. It's about the freedom fighter William Wallace that fought for the Scottish freedom under the tyrannical rule of Edward Longshanks. I think that's right. of the King of England at the time. So anyway, incredible movie, and it's got all those important warrior poet elements of romance and higher meaning and incredible action sequences, and it was heavy on the strategy and tactics stuff, which I really love. So anyway, without further ado, guys, what did you think about the movie Braveheart? And keep in mind,
Love it.
I'll be very upset if you don't follow instructions. On a scale of 1 to 10, let's go first with Alejandro. Ocho. You gave it an 8. Did you see the movie?
I saw the part where they were running side by side. They were together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just farting.
I like that part.
Not far.
His brothers and just a lot of love.
That's what you liked.
It was cool. It was cool to see them side by side.
Yeah, man.
Kind of like
I like that movie too.
All right, what'd you give it,
Man,
AR?
Braveheart is one of my favorite,
Nope.
man.
Nope.
10 out of 10. Great flick. Hilarious the whole time. Captivated. Me and my daddy love that one.
Please don't step on my favorite movie.
That's disrespectful.
And DJ Little Poet.
Man, see, this one actually hit pretty close to home. I want to say RP Uncle Cisco. He fought in that war.
Yeah, nice.
You can see him here. This is just a little tribute. He's listening to some of my music too. Something like that. Something I probably had. But
Thank you.
so-
Thank you for his service.
it's no problem. Uncle
Nope.
Cisco
So,
did
all right,
too, man.
all right.
For a brave.
So,
Respect.
you know,
he was
this-
the main one.
and he's your uncle.
That's my Uncle
You realize
Cisco.
this was a war fought hundreds and hundreds of years ago on a different continent, right?
That's right. Which
Meaning it's impossible that it could have been your uncle that fought there.
that was Cisco.
Did he fight for Scotland or England?
Both of them.
Actually, congrats, man. That's quite an accolade.
It's not anything because you're a moron.
That's an accolade.
No, he was quick.
Nope, he was not. Hundreds of years ago. Couldn't have possibly been your uncle. This is a man who has a salsa packet in his hat, bro.
What
Trying
here
to
for
stay
you?
spicy.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that hot or mild?
All right, here we go, guys. Drum roll. The greatest warrior poet movie of all time, according to you guys, was Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan was the story of a Army Ranger and a small detachment that was going to find one of 5 brothers. The other 4 had already been killed at war, and so it's basically a rescue operation to bring this one home. However, they're way behind enemy lines, and you follow this just historic journey. It's an incredible movie, roller coaster of emotions kind of thing. But anyway, you guys picked Saving Private Ryan. So again, if you haven't seen any of these 5, you really need to check it out. We'll check in with our panelist because of whatever. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of bitterness because Braveheart should have been number 10. So maybe that's not fair, but that's how I roll. Now, I'd like to also point out that out of all 5 of these, the Patriot, kind of starting with Ranger roots, 13 Hours contained Rangers, Black Hawk Down had Rangers, Braveheart did not, but then we have Saving Private Ryan. We have Rangers in 4 out of 5 of your top movies, and since I was a former Ranger, that makes me feel super good inside. And all right, Alejandro, lead us off.
So I disagree.
Okay.
I think El Zorro should have been number 1. I thought it was number 1, and I wouldn't come here if it wasn't number 1.
Okay, Zorro. All right, Little Poet.
I actually want to get a little bit serious with you guys.
Last.
Tom Hanks in this one really reached the heartstrings. He was able to play them like a violin throughout the entirety of the movie, and I'm gonna be honest with everyone, I wept throughout the film. So that hasn't happened to me since I found out about my Uncle Cisco.
No. We talked about Uncle Cisco not in a war
He
100.
was the Braveheart. Yeah.
The worst panelist out here. You were worse than AR. AR, what'd you come up with?
He got it right.
He didn't get it right.
I thought he got it right.
No, he thinks his uncle was in a war hundreds of years ago.
Well, I cheated, so
Checks out.
I'll just.
And that data checks out too.
It's not cheating. It's an opinion.
I thought he had the right answer.
That is the right answer too.
So I give up. I don't even like this. I don't even like this test.
All right, honorable mentions are movies that didn't make the top 5, but they could have. For instance, there was a neck-and-neck race where it kept flip-flopping back and forth between the finalists, number 5, The Patriot, and Gladiator. So Gladiator missed it by just a few votes. The movie 1917 also pulled a lot of votes. I actually voted for 1917 in my top 5. Didn't make it. V is for Vendetta, an amazing movie. Last Samurai got a lot. Hacksaw Ridge got a lot. And Band of Brothers got a whole lot as well. So those are our honorable mentions. Guys, if you're indignant that your movie that you have in mind didn't make the list, go ahead and put it down below in the comments and search the comments for other movies and upvote people who had really good selections as well. Is something funny, Alejandro? AR?
I didn't like all the
I knew that.
talking about.
I knew that.
Come here. Come here. What?
Other than our panelists being a colossal disappointment, guys, you're awesome for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscription bell, toggle the notifications to all. Check down below in the link so that you can check out other Warrior Poet movies. Remember to share and...
SoundCloud. Can I plug my SoundCloud?
No, you may not.
It's Lil Poet SoundCloud.
It's not a thing.
// 6.
It's not a thing. It's nothing's there.
There's plenty of music.
I feel for Uncle Cisco, man.
Goodbye.
Man, R.I.P. Cisco.